Hello, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I'm so hot. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia and I upload book content, booktube. Am I okay? The heater's getting to me. I'm running out of water too. I upload book content such as reading vlogs and videos about books. Does that make sense? And before we get into this video, if you do enjoy this kind of content, then please subscribe, please follow my social medias links below, and please like and comment on this video. And without further ado, let's just get on with it, because I am rambling. Well, I'm not rambling, but I probably would ramble. And I'm not gonna lie, I am so hot, like so hot, that I really just want to get out of the clothes and put something easy on, because I'm so hot and sweaty. Not lovely, not liking this. Okay, so oh my god. So before we get into this video, I'm sure you can tell what it is by the title. I just want to first of all apologise that there won't be a June wrap up and a July hopefuls. I am actually going to do my June and July wrap up in one. At some point in July, either at the end of July or beginning of August, depending if I do it before I go away or after I go away. Anyway, we are midway through the year, which means I get to do the exciting thing. I'll go through, well, I don't get to, this is the first time I've done it. I did the mid-year freak-out tag, which which would have been the video just before this one, so go check it out first if you'd like. And I was just thinking maybe I should do a mid-year thought of my 5-star reads of this year so far. Because this time last year I probably had way more 5-star reads than I do now, because I was very easily giving 5 stars to my ratings. Oh, I forgot one. However, this year I've become a bit more picky with what I give 5 stars. Like the last book I've just read, which you've seen in another video, I didn't give it 5 stars, but even though I was so obsessed with it, and I was being very picky, so as to why I didn't, you probably didn't see the video. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about my 5-star reads so far mid-year of 2023. So get a cup of tea, get some water if you're watching this whilst it's this hot. Get some water, stay hydrated. Although now I'm out of water. Anyway, we're going to start off with a reread of 2023. I read this in 2022 and I reread it this year, and it's Daisy Jones and the Six. I reread it for a video and I reread it to annotate it. I'm pretty sure all these books have actually been for a video. So actually most of the books I've read this year are all for videos anyway. So, yeah, I reread this back in March, just before the TV show came out, because one, I wanted to like have a reread, like a refresh of what happened before I went to watch the show, but also I wanted to reread it anyway. I just love this book so much, and I don't need to tell you much about it. This follows the story of Daisy Jones and the Six. The Six are a band, and Daisy Jones is a singer who joins the Six, and it kind of follows their story as a band together, and Daisy and Billy's story, and Billy and Camilla's story. Camilla is Billy's wife, and also Daisy and Simone's story. And it's just such a great, like, the way it is written is done so well, because in most books the maximum point of views you get is 2, sometimes 3, but majority of them is 2 point of views. Like you get the dual point of view where you get the male and female's point of view. You get every character's point of view, not just the band and Daisy. You get every character's point of view in this, and it's brilliant. And it's like, it's set in interview style, and I love reading magazines. So I absolutely love the writing style of this, love the story. My heart is still ripped up my chest. If I read it now, I'd still cry. Like, I absolutely loved it. Like, look how much I tabbed it. That is how much I loved it. This is such a great book. If you haven't read it, what have you been on? Go get it. It's like £5 in the works. I don't know if it's still £5 in the works, but it was £5 in the works when I rebought the book in February, ready for March. So go get a copy. The next one, all the rest of them are all books I read for the first time this year, so they're not rereads. The next one is Better Than the Movies. This, I probably, if I was to reread it now, I might, not now, but maybe next year, I might change my mind. But I did love this book enough to give it 5 stars. It was such an easy read. Better Than the Movies is such a cute story that follows Liz Buxbaum, I don't know how to say her name, last name even, and Wes Bennett, and it's a really cute story. It's a really cute young, it's like a very much, I'd say more like a young adult slash teen like a teen rom-com book. Like if I was at school and I read this, it wouldn't be like harmful to read as a 15-year-old girl. Compared to some books I read, and most of the books in this pile. However, this book is just so easy to read. It reminded me so much of The Duff, and I loved it so much. So this follows Liz, whose childhood like crush comes back, and she's very determined to make him notice her and want to be with her. And over time, so she gets her next door neighbour, who is her enemy, to help her make Michael notice her, and in a different way to just friends. And she ends up, you can kind of tell the story what's going to happen, that maybe romance will fly with Wes. But it's such a cute story. I gave it 5 stars because it was just so much fun to read, an easy read, a cute story. It hit me in the heart as well. Like, it hit a lot of emotions. It made me laugh, it made me smile, it made me cry. Not physically cry, but it made me want to cry, think about crying. So yeah. The next one is there's 2 books from the same author, and it's part of the series, part of the Never After series. So it's Scarred and Hooked. I will start with Hooked because it's the first one I read. Hooked follows James. Well, it's a Peter Pan retelling, and it's a dark retelling of Peter Pan, and it's following James, aka Captain Hook, Wendy Darling, obviously Wendy, and is it Peter Michaels? Yeah, Peter Michaels, who is Wendy's dad. Plot twist. And although James, Captain Hook, is the villain, so is Peter in this book, if that makes sense, and you're rooting for James in this book. But also he's not painted, and what I love about it is he's not painted to be this hero, which if you're rooting for someone, it usually would be that they're painted to be the hero, and it's the opposite. But he's not painted to be this hero. It's just you're rooting for him the way he is, and I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with Emily McIntyre's writing in this book and the story, and I did it for a 24-hour reading, so I partly couldn't put it down because of that, but also I couldn't put it down anyway. I remember reading this, and I was going out in the evening, and I had to stop to get ready, and I was like, I don't want to put it down, I want to continue reading. And I didn't. I managed to finish it, and I loved it so much. It's such a cute story. Well, so cute story. It's not really cute. It is very dark. It's got a lot of like blood and death and like references in it. But what I also love about the book is it has a lot of Peter Pan references in it. Like, where's the first one? Meet Me at the Jolly Roger, which is obviously Captain Hook's like boat in Peter Pan. You've got Nev Airland, which is the flight company of Peter Michael's company, which is obviously Neverland. He calls Wendy Michaels, not Wendy Darling, Wendy Michaels, he calls her darling, which, yeah, this is just such a good book. I'm rambling on about it, so yeah, 5 stars, easily. And then I read Scarred for another 24-hour reading. I picked it up for that because I was like, it's a very easy read for me to get hooked on and stuck into. So I was like, I can read it and finish it. This book, again, had me in a chokehold. This is a Lion King retelling, dark retelling. It follows Tristan, who is Scar. You've got Farah, who is Nala, and then you've got oh my god, is it Michael? Michael, who is, oh my god, is Nala. Why do I not remember the Lion King name? Simba. So my brain is like dead today. We're going to use that as an excuse. So Michael is Simba, and it's a story where Tristan is trying to avenge, kill off Michael. Sarah wants to kill off the Mustafas. That is their like last name, and this is royalty. So this is a royalty kind of book, and it's so good because Sarah goes in to marry Michael so she can go on the inside and kill them off. And then within this time she meets Tristan, who has this whole other like gang of people who are up against and trying to destroy the throne. It's really good. It's a really good book. It's a really good book. I really described it badly, but I loved it, and I definitely recommend it. If you want to give us something to read, recommend the series so bad. The next, oh, I've got a sniffly nose. Oh god. tissue there. Sorry, bear with. The next one is another part of the series. It's 2 books of the series. I don't think you can guess. If you haven't watched the other videos, you probably couldn't guess. But if you have watched it, you'd know. First of all, it's Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. And I absolutely love the fine print. It wasn't enough to be a 5-star read from last year, but I did love it. However, though, I picked this one up for a video. And obviously... and I fell in love with it. This one follows Declan and Iris, and it's a marriage of convenience, workplace kind of relationship. I wouldn't know. I don't know if they're enemies to lovers, because they don't really they obviously tolerate each other. She knows a lot about his life, and she knows a lot about him prior to it, because she's a personal assistant. She's his personal assistant. So it's like a marriage of convenience. It's my first marriage of convenience book. And I absolutely fell in love with the dynamic between Declan and Iris. For those who don't know, the Dreamland Billionaire series, it follows 3 brothers, the Kane brothers, who have to, whose grandfather passed away, and he left them his inheritance if they do each do one thing. So Rowan had to become CEO of Dreamland and get involved with a change of Dreamland for at least, I think it was 6 months, and then Declan had to get married and have a baby to get his, and then the next one we'll get to because that's also in it, but this one I absolutely loved. Easy 5 stars, such a good read. I love it, but I also love about these books, it didn't make it a 5-star read, but I love about these books is that each chapter has a little thing like this. Is so cool. And then the final offer, this follows Cal and Alana, and this story is, so Cal's way to get the inheritance was he had to go back to this lake house and sell it, but also potentially find the person he loves again, basically sort himself out. And Alana was his first love, his only real love, and someone who he's hurt in the past. And this story I gave it 5 stars easily. It's such a longer book to the other ones, but I gave it a 5-star rating easily because it just it twisted in my heart because of things that I grew up with, but also it was just written so well. I'm aware not everyone liked this book, but I also know that a lot of people love this book, so it's a very mixed review. But I 100% love this book. Definitely couldn't recommend this whole series more. The whole series, it's a 5-star rating from me. The next one is a book I really didn't expect to, a series I didn't expect to get into, let alone a book I did not expect to love or rate 5 stars, but it is A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book in the Akatar series, and for those who don't know, I read Jack of Swords and Roses as obviously the first one. Wasn't obsessed with it, but I did enjoy it. I really was but I didn't give it 5 stars because I didn't love it. I gave it 4.25 stars. Pretty good for someone who's not obsessed with fantasy. I read this one and I honestly cannot tell you how much I love this book. This book is so good. It's such a good story. It follows a girl called Feyre who in the first book is just a human hunter who kills a fae who looks like a wolf, and she gets brought to this realm called Prithian, and with this guy called Tamlin who's high fae, and then she meets later on in that book you meet Rhysand, and this book follows more on her life after what happened at the end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I'm not going to spoil that for you by telling you what happens in this book, but this is a 5-star. Oh my god, what is wrong now? I thought it was a spider on my floor, but it wasn't. It was just my imagination. Oh my god, I thought it was a spider on the floor. It's not. It's just a piece of plastic. How does that look like a spider? Tell me. And then finally, our last book in my 5-star rating so far of 2023 is Magnolia Parks. This is the first book in the series, and don't get me wrong, I am still on chapter 12 of Daisy Hates. I haven't started finished reading that because I just haven't got into it. However, this book I absolutely loved. 5-star. It was a very easy 5-star read. It was so good. This follows the story of Magnolia and BJ, and it's It's definitely a Gossip Girl kind of story. It's based in London. Give me Chuck and Blair vibes. I love the story between them. I love like how high profile they are. It's just, and it was just so good written and so fun to read and so sad. It's such a toxic relationship. Like, you don't root for them to be together, but it's such an emotional story, and I cannot wait to read the second Magnolia Parks one, which is A Long Way Home, because I just need to know what happens next. But yes. And with that is the end of this video where I talked about my 5-star reads of 2023 so far. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, please comment down below, please subscribe. Please comment down below your 5-star reads of 2023 so far. I would love to hear them and maybe get some more book inspiration. And with that being said, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed.